Now at 6, waiting for an update. Fairbanks' Catholic community comes together to pray for the safety of a kidnapped priest as they share how they learned the news. Identified, Anchorage police released the name of the victim killed in Monday's vehicle pedestrian accident. And stopping school funding. Districts outraged as the state proposes limiting how much local governments can give to their own schools.
Well, it's a stretch of clouds, showers, and cooler temperatures, at least this week. I'll have your forecast.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
Now, as we come on the air at 6, we have a breaking news of a deadly North Slope helicopter crash. NTSB Alaska Chief Clint Johnson says 2 people died when the helicopter they were on crashed near the Kaparik oil field. Johnson says a National Transportation Safety Board team is en route to the area, about 28 miles west of Dead Horse. Very little information right now. And once again, NTSB says a helicopter crash near the Kaparik oil field has killed 2 people. We will keep you updated on our website and mobile app. Well, new at 6, the Fairbanks' Catholic community anxiously awaiting for an update on a former priest believed to have been kidnapped by the terrorist group Boko Haram in Nigeria. A diocese leader taking the time to remember when Father Alphonsus Afina came to the Golden Heart City from Nigeria back in 2017.
Alphonsus said to me, "Father, it is so cold." And I said to him, "Just wait for a few months, Father, and you'll see how cold it can get."
Father Afina served Alaska's communities for 6.5 years before returning to Nigeria to start a trauma center for victims of Boko Haram, which the U.S. government has deemed a terrorist organization. Church leaders say around 200 people came to Tuesday's Mass at Sacred Hearts Cathedral, with more joining online. The Fairbanks community first got word of his kidnapping on Monday after Father Robert Fath said Boko Haram reached out to a Nigerian diocese.
They contacted the auxiliary bishop for the Diocese of Maiduguri, which is unusual. They typically don't reach out to organizations unless they're sending video of the execution of their prisoners. And so we're hopeful that, through our prayers, through our intercessions, it will soften their hearts to release him.
Fath says that Afina's bishop in Nigeria is working with the local government and military to find out where he is being held. Anchorage police now say an older woman was killed when she was hit by a car on Monday. Police say that woman was 79-year-old Gladys Graff. It happened Monday at the Benson and C Street intersection in Midtown. Police say that the driver is cooperating with the investigation. Well, south of Adak, the Coast Guard says all 22 members of a London-based cargo ship headed for Mexico are safe after a fire on board. This happened about 300 miles south of Adak. The ship was carrying more than 3,000 vehicles, including nearly 800 electric vehicles bound for Mexico. The ship's management company said that the crew members could not get the fire under control. A merchant vessel rescued them after they abandoned ship in a lifeboat. The Coast Guard says it's working with the London company, Zodiac Maritime, to determine how to recover the ship and what will be done with it. Well, it's early June, but the summer off to a slow, rather cloudy start. Meteorologist Jackie Purcell joins us with the forecast. Jackie.
I can't dispute that. Certainly, we have seen our share of rain, wind, as well as cloud cover, and cooler temperatures. We'll throw that in as well. So let's get to where we are standing currently. We're at 48 degrees. The winds are calm, and this is from our Midtown location. There has been some rain across the city as well as the region. Pulling that out, we can see that much of that precipitation is centered over the Prince William Sound area, western sides of Cook Inlet, and continuing to see showers and even a lightning strike in western portions of the state. Interior Alaska, in Fairbanks, 60 degrees this hour. Winds are fairly light, just 5 miles per hour out of the east-southeast. Going into the next couple of days, though, there's going to be a change. We'll still see some wet weather into our Thursday, but by Thursday afternoon and into the evening, the clouds will be breaking up just enough so that allow for some sunny breaks, and it looks pretty good as we head into Friday. Enjoy that Friday because there's another storm system looming as we just hit the weekend. But there's still going to be some pretty good rainfall amounts through Thursday evening, over an inch in Cordova, 0.8 of an inch into Valdez, and about 0.6 of an inch around Whittier. Rain showers are still sticking into the Anchorage area. Most of ours should come into the first part of the day. Rain showers intermittent into the Fairbanks area. A more steady rain out of Juneau. But for the Panhandle, I want to emphasize that the heaviest rain should be overnight tonight into the first half of the day. For tomorrow, Bethel, a chance of showers for you as well. 48 for your high. We'll have more on the forecast. It's coming up later.
All right, Jackie, thank you very much. And make sure you track if the rain's headed, well, for where you're located or where you want to be located by checking out our real-time radar on our free Alaska's News Source Weather app. Well, emergency rule proposed. The state wants to reduce how much money local Alaska governments give their local school districts. The Alaska Department of Education and Early Development told state school board members this week it's a necessary change to help pay for an $81 million shortfall after the feds say the state did not properly use federal money to replace state funding. But talking to our Tracy Sinclair, the Alaska Beacon's James Brooks says that many outraged district leaders testified today that this was a surprise, which, if passed, could take effect immediately.
So school districts would have had to reopen their budgets, account for millions of dollars in changes, and it would have been a huge headache and potentially big problems for school districts across the state.
The state school board voted on a 30-day delay. You can read James's article on our website and mobile app, along with watching Tracy's full conversation. And coming up later on the late edition, what opponents say the potential impact on local communities could be. All right, still ahead, who's watching who? We're going to take you out sea tripping out of Juneau, do a little whale watching. On free meals for soldiers at Fort Wainwright, courtesy of the Gary Sinise Foundation.
You're watching Alaska's News Source.
Well, you always got to keep your eyes peeled for wildlife, right? We take road tripping to sea, where Quinn White joins us from a whale watching tour down in Juneau.
Chase and tail in the whale watching capital of the world. We are already getting really lucky in Juneau this morning. We've spotted some stellar sea lions, some humpbacks. Let's keep an eye out and see what else we've got.
Most of these whales are migrating all the way from Hawaii, 3,000 miles away, and they don't eat a single bite of food on that entire journey. So they're swimming 3,000 miles, not eating, saving their stomachs for when they get up here to Alaska. And that's when they start eating 23 out of 24 hours a day, trying to gain weight, prepared to go back to Hawaii. The geography of this area makes it kind of a prime whale watching spot.
Clint, how are you feeling?
This is crazy.
We are one of the few places in the world that can guarantee whale sightings. So, and the reason for that is not because we are particularly skilled at whale watching, though of course we are, but it's because this is where the whales come to feed. And it's in this narrow inside passage.
There's this pectoral fin again!
Spotting wildlife and making new friends.
We got to see whales and lots of other animals. It was really fun and awesome watching whales and sea lions do their thing.
Top of one. You got that? Did you get that, Quinn?
Got it, I think.
We're so lucky, you guys. Oh my gosh, most tours, if you get one breach, you're lucky. This is, I'm not just hyping it to hype it up. Like, this is so insane.
A successful day road tripping by sea.
That's a big one. Look at it.
Quinn White, Alaska's News Source.
That was a good one. To watch all of our current and past road tripping stories, you can find them on our website and our streaming platforms. Well, today in Fairbanks, soldiers at Fort Wainwright were treated to a free meal, courtesy of the Gary Sinise Foundation. Adrian Peterson has more on how this monthly event helps the troops in this week's Inside the Gates.
Making life a little easier for the troops at Fort Wainwright, the Gary Sinise Foundation sponsored free meals for over 80 soldiers.
For a lot of them, it's a camaraderie point. They can come in, they don't have to worry about like, oh, I don't have $15 in my budget to go out to lunch today, so they don't go out with their buddies. Today they do. and they get to eat, they get to have their lunch with their friends.
Soldiers were lined up and eager to grab their food with their friends, and others simply took their meals to go, almost all of them taking a moment to relax and appreciate a free meal.
Sometimes it's just getting them out of the office. For those that are in a little bit more of a financial crunch, they don't have to stress about it and they can still have a good meal. For others, it's just getting some time out and away and having a good time.
Those that have the opportunity to receive one of these meals say it also boosts morale.
The MWR has been doing a good job on trying to get organizations up here to build morale to the service members up here that need it the most.
Lucky says that while the number of meals were limited, all the soldiers appreciate the opportunity to have a donated meal, whether or not they received one. Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.